Hello all my fellow Knights of the Renegade, I am Irish Knight 115 and welcome to a video that I wanted to do a long while back at this point, but it just never really came to mind until a friend of mine recently decided to bring it up. So as you guys know, I did a ranking video on all of the Chucky movies at the time. Obviously that disincluded the Child's Play 2019 remake. So this friend gave me an idea for a ranking video. Why not I go ahead and probably do one of the most famous slashers in film history. That being Michael Myers. That's right, we're doing a ranking video on the Halloween franchise. The 13th movie is going to be coming out soon, this year, I think. Halloween Ends, I think it's going to be called. I figured I would go ahead and do this. It would have been better if I would have done it in October, but I figured I might as well get it done now, or otherwise I'm going to forget when October comes around. So anyway, let's go ahead and get straight into this. Coming in at number 12, which is the last place on our count. This one is kind of a no-brainer, and I guarantee a lot of people are going to agree with this. It's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Now, why on earth is this film in last? Number one, and the biggest reason that so many people hated it, Michael Myers isn't even in the film. Like, what? You can't have a Halloween film without Michael Myers. It's just unacceptable. I'm gonna be totally honest. It just flopped on its head. That was the one Halloween film that I didn't even need to watch to know that it was gonna be bad, mainly because of what I'd heard from it and few things here and there that I've seen of it. Michael ain't in the goddamn film. So it's like, what is the point? I don't get it. Like, I don't know. It's just... And the story is just so stupid. It doesn't even fall into Halloween. Well, it sort of does, but whatever they were trying to do with that film, I don't even want to understand. So anyway, Season of the Witch is a no-brainer as the worst film in the franchise. Coming in at number 11, we have Resurrection. Halloween Resurrection. Now, why do I think Resurrection is a bad film? Mainly because I feel like what they were trying to do was put Halloween in a modern standpoint, and I kind of feel like that it didn't work out that well. Resurrection came out in 2002, which is actually the year that I was born. The movie was actually made months before I was born, so that's something. Obviously, it had everything to do with Halloween, but it just didn't seem right. And also, the whole movie is just like one of those like game show type things, or whatever, like scare shows, or what are those called? I don't know. I feel like the premise that they were trying to go for with that one, it didn't fit. I feel like it was trying to fit in, and it just, in my opinion, it just did not work. Also, the characters are stupid as hell. Also, I hate that in that timeline, they killed off Jamie. They killed off her. I forget what the hell her character's name was. Laurie? Yeah. They killed off Laurie in Resurrection. But then, of course, brought her back in Halloween 2018. I don't know. Just a whole can of timelines. If I'm gonna be totally honest, Resurrection, I feel like, was the one film where they tried to do something with it, and it didn't entirely work. Number 11 goes to Resurrection. Number 10, we have The Curse of Michael Myers. Ah, yes. The last film in the Niece timeline. Now, if you don't know what that is, from Halloween 4 to, I think, Curse, it looks like there's another bit of a timeline. It's like there's a timeline that's been separated from the main one and then became its own entity. And that being Laurie Strode's niece, or I think Michael's niece, or someone's niece, who has some sort of a connection to Michael. And I feel like that was an idea that went way too long. It should have just been in one film and then ended it there. No, they took that concept for 3 fucking films. And Curse, thankfully, was the last one. Because it went from Return to Revenge to then Curse. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I don't know. Curse, I would personally say, was the worst of that trilogy, just because, well, number one, the story of it didn't really make any sense. The fact that now Michael has this voodoo curse on him, and he has to kill his family members in order to lift it, which, that's kind of stupid. I feel like this is the one franchise where they tried to throw in different ideas, and some of them worked, some of them didn't. What they did in Curse, stupid as hell. And Curse, I would personally say, was the worst in that little trilogy. It was stupid as hell. Coming in at number 9, we have Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Now, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, kind of a letdown from his Halloween 1. And here is why. After Michael gets ripped of his mask, he doesn't even go for another mask. He just like dresses up in like this hobo-esque attire and just gets absolutely riddled with bullets in the end. And just, I don't know, it was just a letdown from the first one, from the first Rob Zombie one. It was just a complete fucking letdown. Not saying that it was necessarily that bad, it was just a letdown from the previous one. There's really nothing else to say about it. It was just a complete fucking letdown. And I don't know, it was just way too Rob Zombie for me. Actually, both of the films that he did in the franchise is just way too Rob Zombie for me. Those were the 2 first films that I'd seen that were made by Rob Zombie, and I'm almost kind of interested in seeing some other ones just to see where the fuck his mind went. But yeah, that's it for that one. Coming in at number 8, we have The Revenge of Michael Myers, Halloween 5. Now, why is this one at 8? Well, number one, the mask design for Michael is stupid as hell. I think it was the worst one that they ever went for. Another reason that Revenge is at number 8 is because half of the film takes place in one setting, which I think is like the Myers house or something. I think it's the Myers house. I genuinely don't remember. It's in some sort of a house. I would assume to be the Myers house. Literally, I think like halfway through the film is in there. Which, don't get me wrong, I know that almost all the films take place in Haddonfield. But with those things, you kind of need to try to adjust the setting a bit, try to take it in different locations. They sort of did that in the beginning of Revenge, and then halfway through it, they decide, nope, we're going to the Myers house because it did not get enough respect. Bishies, it did get respect in the previous films. So yeah, I don't know, like, Revenge, in my opinion, was just... Not saying that it was bad, because it's a Halloween film. They aren't really bad, except for Season of the Witch. But, I don't know. Some of the films I feel like just completely flopped for me, and Revenge is kind of a no-brainer. It's not as bad as, like, Resurrection or something like that. It didn't work with me. Coming in at number 7, we have the return of Michael Myers, Halloween 4. The comeback for Michael after the failure that was Season of the Witch. Now, why on God's green earth is this at number 7? Mainly because it's the point where the timeline suddenly split. It just suddenly split from the main thing, which people didn't really like when they found that out. And we got introduced to the niece, who was a good character, but really, what the fuck was the point in her even being in the franchise at all? Because mainly we want Jamie Lee Curtis and we want Michael Myers. Those are like the two only people that we really need in Halloween. And then for like 3 films straight, they brought in the niece, which wasn't a bad idea, but I would have liked it if it was only in one film, and that film would have been like Return or Revenge or even Curse, or one of the 3 that had her. And I don't know. And also the mask design, I kind of said the same thing with Revenge. The mask design was just weird. Not as weird as Revenge, which pretty much was just a fucking hazmat mask, but it was the fact that the mask didn't have like that menacing expression that the other one did, that the original one did. It kind of more or less had a very surprised expression. And the weird thing was that slicked back hair. Usually we would like that like ruffled up hair for it, but no, with that one it was slicked back like he's a greaser or something. And just, I don't know, like, Return, I would personally say, was the better one of that 3, but doesn't mean that it was a saving grace. Obviously, like I said before, the Halloween movies, they're not necessarily dog shit, except for Season of the Witch, but obviously there's some aspects of them that didn't really make them that good with audiences. Coming in at number 6, we have Halloween Rob Zombie. Now, Halloween Rob Zombie, oh boy, the first one in the Rob Zombie duality. I don't know what a 2 would be in movie terms, but the 2 films made by Rob Zombie, and I would definitely say that Halloween 1 was by far better than Halloween 2, but at the same time, I don't think it was a good point for the franchise. It just almost felt like a remake of Halloween 1, and that's kind of what it was supposed to be, but instead of them doing a complete remake of Halloween 1, they did something different and decided to further go into Michael's past. So instead of getting the one that we saw in Halloween 1, the original Halloween 1, we got more of like what made Michael the way that he is, like what made him into this killing machine that he is. And speaking of Michael, oh my god, grown-up Michael, I guarantee people, if you ask someone what is the scariest Michael Myers in Halloween, I guarantee 80 to maybe even 90% of people are gonna say it was whoever the fuck played him in Rob Zombie's Halloween. It was terrifying. He was tall, he looked strong, he was intimidating, he was scary as hell, and he played Michael perfectly. Being menacing, but being really damn brutal. Not as brutal as other Michaels that we've gotten in the past, but... oh my god! Oh dear god! God, that Michael was scary. Yeah. Rob Zombie's Halloween, number 6. Number 5, Halloween Kills, the newest film in the franchise, and will soon be behind the newest one that will be coming out this October, Halloween Ends. But first, we gotta talk about Halloween Kills. Now, why is it that Halloween Kills is at number 5? Okay, Halloween Kills, I feel like, was a good way of trying to make a direct sequel to something, much like Halloween 2 was to the original Halloween. It was a good way of making a sequel, because Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills are now a new timeline. So in a way, are sequels to the original Halloween. Halloween Kills takes place right after Halloween 2018. And oh boy, I think they did a good job with certain pieces of it, but there's like one or two other things that I don't really like about it. Number one, a lot of the film either takes place out in Haddonfield or in the place where all the mob's people are, and really, I feel like including that bit, all the mob's people, I feel like completely almost ruined the film for me, because it was just the mob's people at the hospital. I feel like completely just, it almost threw the movie right off track with me, but it wasn't necessarily that bad. With the other thing that I'm kind of 50-50 on, if I don't like, is how fucking gory and bloody the movie was. Oh my god. Halloween Kills, I think, is more gory and bloody than Rob Zombie's Halloweens. And that's saying something. Oh my god, every fucking kill in the movie was just blood here, gore there, everywhere. Just... oh my god. I mean, really, if I'm gonna be totally honest, I feel like the Halloween franchise kind of needed something like that. Because there's always going to be a film in a horror franchise that is going to be absolutely bloody. And Halloween Kills, even though it was late to that party, it triumphed in that sense. Which is just... yeah. Halloween Kills, I got to see it. I actually found it to be pretty good. I definitely think it was a good way of making a sequel to... I feel like it was a good way of making another kind of sequel. I feel like they did good with it. But of course, there was the two things that sort of ruined it, but at the same time, not really. Number 4, Halloween H2O, 20 years later. Hell yes. Now, why is it that H2O is at number 4 and not like up at like number 3 or something? Here's why. And of course, the movie is fantastic. I feel like it was a good point in the franchise, because one of the things that I like that they did differently was, one, they changed up the mask to make it look different, but also likable and also recognizable, of course. And another reason is that they took it into a different setting and based it on there. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis came back as Laurie Strode, who now I guess was... Halloween H2O takes place in a college, so I would assume that she's like the principal or the headmaster, whatever the hell it would be, one of the two. And Michael goes there, so clearly Michael will go wherever Laurie is. And Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes. But I feel like what they did with H2O, with putting it in a different setting, it kind of took it away from the actual setting, which is Haddonfield. Haddonfield was always the setting, like the full setting for a Halloween film. And the fact that they took us away from Haddonfield and put it somewhere else is a good idea, and I think they executed that really good, but it kind of broke away from the main spirit of Halloween, which is not Michael, it's Haddonfield, because, you know, that's where he was born, that's where he grew up, that's where he had his first kills as Michael Myers, and, you know, shit like that. I feel like what they did with H2O was really damn good execution, but it broke away from the setting that we were so used to. And really, the fact of H2O not being in Haddonfield is, I think, kind of the main reason why it's at number 4. But being at number 4 doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, because now we're in the top 5, which are the damn good films. The top 3 are the damn fantastically good films. H2O and the previous one, which was Halloween Kills, are in the damn good only films, not the damn good fantastic films. That is reserved for number 3, Halloween 2018. Now, Halloween 2018. Oh boy. What do I really gotta say? Halloween 2018, it was a very fantastic... It was a very fantastic comeback for Michael, for Jamie Lee Curtis, for just the whole thing in general. It was an amazing comeback after the whole thing went dark since 2009 with the ending of Halloween, with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which of course had nothing to do with what we got in 2018, but wow, was it really good. And the fact that it sounds like they made Halloween 2018 kind of supposed to be, in this timeline, a sequel to the original Halloween and completely skipping past Halloween 2 onward, I feel like was kind of a shite decision, but I can kind of understand where they were going with that. They were trying to start off with a clean slate. They were trying to do something different with it and try to eradicate all the messed up stuff that, you know, went on in the franchise, except for H2O. That movie, pretty damn good. And I think they did really good. I think it was fantastic when I saw it. I thought it was really damn good. They execute everything good. The lights, the sounds, the characters, the music, everything about 2018's Halloween was executed to the fullest of extent. Fantastic. Now, obviously, with this being another timeline, of course, it kind of fucked people up a little bit, but it's Halloween. You kind of have to accept that, you know? You kind of have to. And, of course, with the ending of Halloween 2018, of course there was going to be another Halloween film. Because Michael wasn't goddamn down there when they looked down. He wasn't down there anymore. I really hope that a lot of people have seen Halloween 2018 at this point, because I should have said this at the beginning, spoilers, in case someone hasn't seen the ones that I'm talking about. I would imagine a lot of people have seen Halloween 2018, so crossing my fingers, I think we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I think is the story for Halloween 2018 and going into Halloween Kills, which I can kind of understand, and what I think Halloween Ends is going to bring to the table. I will go ahead and do that sometime soon, because Halloween 2018, in my opinion, was such a success, and Halloween Kills was also a success, but not like Halloween 2018. I feel like it was a little bit of downgrade, but not too much to the point where it was absolutely shite. I feel like Halloween Kills was a really good way of continuing the story of Halloween 2018. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking now about that one. We got to get onward. Number 2. The first sequel in the Halloween franchise, Halloween 2. A lot of people are going to say that Halloween 2 was an amazing example of having a really damn good sequel executed perfectly. Halloween 2 was executed perfectly. And I feel like it was a really good way of cementing Michael's place in the horror industry. Because at the end of the original, he wasn't on the ground anymore. He didn't die. People will always say Michael at this point is immortal. He can't actually die. Much like all the slashers, they never can actually die. Michael included. And Halloween 2 was a perfect example of that. And he can also mess with the people that are going after him, because I think it's Halloween 2. There was a point where someone that was dressed up as Michael Myers got killed, and they thought they took out Michael, but it actually turned out to be someone else. Which I would imagine Dr. Loomis and the police department probably felt really fucking bad for that family, because they accidentally fucking killed him. They probably didn't entirely mean to, because they thought it was Michael. But no. And also, I like it that we're still in Haddonfield, but we're at a hospital now. I feel like that was a good adjustment from being in these two houses in the original film, suddenly going to a bigger place with more space, therefore more scenes. I feel like was a really good way of trying to go somewhere else, but sticking with what we had. I feel like that was really damn good, and Halloween 2 will always be known as the best sequel to Halloween. It will always be that. In the entirety of the franchise, it will always be the best sequel in it. But of course, if it's the best sequel, well then obviously we gotta talk about the one that started it all. Coming in at number 1, we have the original 1978 Halloween. And this one is a no-brainer. When this one came out, oh my god, did it change the horror industry forever. Jason may have had his bit, but Michael completely ripped the crown from him, and he still fucking has it to this day. Mainly because now he's more relevant, because the last movie that we got from Jason was in 2009, and the last movie that we got of Freddy was in like 2010. Michael, however, is still going, so he's still technically relevant. And really, I think we have to thank all of the sequels that we've gotten so far, even if some were shit, even if some didn't entirely work, even if some were in different timelines. We gotta thank the classic 1978's Halloween, the one that started it all. I feel like whatever I'm gonna say is completely obvious, so there's no point in even saying it. Halloween is by far one of the greatest horror movies, besides Jaws and probably besides some other ones, that had ever come out at the time, which was in the late 70s. And obviously there were other films like Jaws, like Friday the 13th, and maybe a few other ones, but Halloween was the one that topped them all. Jaws may be fucking famous because of what it brought to the table, but Halloween took what it brought to the table and bumped it up. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this ranking video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Comment in the comments below anything, and also in the comments, give me any other ideas for ranking videos, for any horror ranking videos, because I feel like if I go ahead and do other subjects, I'm probably going to forget to do anything else. So at this point, I'm only going to accept horror rankings, okay? I'm only going to accept that. And really, horror doesn't have to be just movies, but I would rather it be movies and games. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and head off because y'all are probably getting really sick and tired of me talking. So anyway, thank you guys, and as always, I will see all of you loyal knights in the next video. Peace. The night is out. Irish for life, my friends.